Hanabi, this is your review for 2. Good day, my name is Joe Gerba, and today we'll be going over Hanabi and how it plays with 2 players. In this game, you're trying to put on the most spectacular fireworks show by putting these 5 colors in order, in ascending order, from 1 to 5. Now there is a catch. You want to put down these cards, and the other person has 5 cards as well, except you can't look at your cards. So at the start of the game, you have no idea what you're going to be looking for. Throughout the game, you'll be able to perform one of 3 actions on your turn. You can either play a card into the stack to try to make the best fireworks display you can. You can discard a card if you don't think you need it to regain a clue, or you can give the other person a clue about their cards. So they're showing you their cards, and they're showing you what they have, and you're showing you what you have. And they may give you a clue and say, these 2 are blue cards. Okay? And you'll flip over a clue. And on your turn, you may do the same. Give them a clue and flip it over. And then they may say, these 2 are 3s as their clue. And that'll make, I know that this one is now a blue 3. And I can go along with that. If there's a blue 1 and 2 down, I'll be able to play the blue 3. Now once you run out of clues, you won't be able to gain them back unless you discard a card and are able to flip one of these over. And if you try to play a card and it's wrong, you do lose a fuse, and once you're out of fuses, you blow up and the game's over. So you win in Hanabi by having 5 of each color down here, and the game ends, you'll add up all your points and see how you did. Now let's see what I think of Hanabi for 2. I like the components to Hanabi. The cards are nice, the tokens are fine, the box is small. It really doesn't take up too much table size. Setup is very easy. Shuffle the cards. The rules are very straightforward. Maybe 6 short pages of rules, but once you know how to play, it's once again, it's you pretty much know anytime someone said, hey, you want to play Hanabi. I do like the gameplay of Hanabi, trying to deduce your own cards and give the other person as much information as you can. You do only have a limited set of cards. There's only 3 1s of every color, 2 of every other number in each color, and only 1 5. So you really don't want to discard the 5, and you're trying not to get your teammates to discard the 5. You really want to make sure that when you discard, it's an educated decision so you can get the valuable clues back. That's what I do like about this game. There is your resource and its clues, along with the bomb, or the fuse can also be a resource. You know, if you're getting pretty close to the end and you want to try to put one down, you have plenty of fuses left, try to put a number down. But it's really fun to try to deduce. It's really tough. This game is very hard. You can only give numbers and colors up here, which makes giving information pretty tough. And the clues are valuable, so you don't want to waste a clue, which is pretty neat. I've never won this game. I've played this game quite a bit. It can get pretty frustrating. That is one of my downfalls about the game, is when one person makes a mistake, you don't want to blame them, but you can't kind of help but say, yeah, you should have known that. Or the only question you can ask is, what do you know about your cards? You can't give them any other hint besides that. And it's just kind of tough, because you want the other person to remember all their cards, and if they don't and they put something down wrong, you just kind of slap your head. And this is really amplified in the 3 to 4 player game, which kind of brings me to my other point. I don't think this is a 2-player game that I enjoy. You kind of get into a rut of, when you get down to the last clue and the other person's giving the last clue, the other person has to discard a card or play it. And then you kind of get into this bad cycle of, well, we only have 1 clue, so I'll discard it. Well, they only have 1 clue to give me. I guess they give it to me. and it doesn't quite cycle as good as the 3 to 4 player. With 3 to 4 player, you get a lot of interaction, a lot of showing your cards. You can tell people the important information without giving away too many clues. They may give you just some basic information. I know this probably isn't a 5 because in the first 2 clues, they didn't tell me it was a 5. Place it down to get you another clue. In the 2-player game, though, it's tougher to get these back because the information is limited, and you have to make it through a thick set of cards. With more players, the cards are a little bit more spread out and more confident that the other person knows that they don't have a 5 or you don't. And I say the 5 because once you discard the 5, you can't get a perfect game. And that's what makes this game pretty unfortunate. I do really like this game. It doesn't always play well, and like I said, it does come with the mechanic of when one person messes up, it can really ruin the whole game, and you don't want to make other people feel bad in a cooperative game. People make mistakes, but it's tough not to be a little bit sour in the end. I know that may just be me, but you hate to see one of the other people mess up. You're like, oh, that stinks. But in the 2-player game, there's just not quite enough interaction for me. The clues seem very limited, and the gameplay just isn't quite. It never quite picks up for me. I never quite get engaged enough to really focus and decide what clues. The decisions seem pretty rudimentary in the 2-player game. I do really like Hanabi. Definitely better with 3 or 4, but with 2 players, I don't think I can recommend this game. Thank you guys for listening.